This is the future.
Hello lads, a last minute addition to the video, but will be at the start, so I make sure you guys don't miss it. I saw it on one of my league mates characters. You can just leave a 40% XP legendary thing in there until you get your characters to level 80, because that will require a ton of XP capsules, and at the same time it will not necessarily mess with your build or need your build to be changed until your character is level 70, so that's definitely something you can do and could be quite helpful. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigil Green here and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to talk about how to build yourself a 7-star character. Because this is going to be a little bit of a tricky thing, because a lot of people already have maxed out 6-star characters and nobody was expecting that we would get a 7 talent, let alone that talent will be legendary, having double the amounts of the stats that the talents have. So first of all, let us take a look at the values that the epic talents are going to give you. So, let me bring up this chart. This is from Destiny. They are the biggest Injustice 2 mobile Discord server as far as I'm aware. They get a lot of useful stuff like this, and also some leagues you can join, some chats you can chat in and interact with the community, so I'll link them in the description in the pinned comments, so make sure to check them out. And back to this, those are going to be the values. And if you're familiar with the epic talent values, you're going to see that for the most part they are going to be double the epic talent amounts. And for example, we have 25% critical attack chance, an epic talent would be 12%, so it's double plus 1, the resistance is going to be exactly double, and the interesting one is going to be attack, which goes all the way up to 10%. So now that we know the values, let's go back to this and see what we can do here. So since I already got this build over here for Harley, in theory, if I was to make her to 7 stars, what would I do? First up, let's pretend that she's maxed out, because I get this rare talent, but look, for this build, if I was gonna try and get it to epic, the only thing it would give me would be 1% more critical attack chance, and I'm not spending millions of credits for 1% more critical attack chance, for now at the very least, but for the sake of calculations, let's just pretend this was also an epic talent. What do we do with the legendary talent though? So the legendary talents are going to not necessarily give you something new, but supplement for something that you already got on the gears, so that you can replace the things that you got on the gears with more attack. So for example, we got over here the lethal attack chance, we got over here the crit chance, crit damage. Our main goal will be to replace at the very least 2 of these with attack rolls, while getting our percentage for that specific value maxed out through the use of talents. And we need to try and get at the very least 2 of them, because one of them is not necessarily going to be optimal, because I could just drop a crit here and remove a crit from the gears and call it a day. But the thing is, if I do that, I might as well just put an attack over here and not even bother, because nowadays if the attack is going to be 10%, again, it's not going to be total attack, but it's going to be calculated out of the base attack of the character. And previously the epic attack talent was kind of garbage, but now if it's 10%, it's going to be, for example, for Harley, 273, and even more as you get her to 7 stars. So it's most likely going to be higher than the attack value that we're going to get on the gears. So if we put some crit chance or some crit damage and all we manage to do is replace one of those with 1 attack roll, then that's definitely not going to be worth it. So when you're going to try and implement a 7th talent on a character, you're going to try your best and do it in a way so that it allows you to replace 2 gear rolls with attack. Because otherwise it's just not worth it, and you're just gonna put attack, and that's not necessarily too bad. And for some characters this might be the case, because they might not allow replacing 2 gear rolls, but those are calculations that you'll have to do yourself, and I'm going to teach you how. So we're going to go over here into Harley stats. So those are the stats of my Harley. As you can see, the percentage values are max, well, almost max. This 1% missing crit chance is going to piss me off. And you're going to go over here once you get her to 7 stars and start calculating. So we have over here the crit damage. We're going to calculate the total value because it's not 300%. I already did, but I'll do that again for the sake of this video. We got 150 base plus 80% plus 40% plus 40%. So our total critical attack damage is going to be 310. It's only going to go up to 300, so that 10% additional that we got is kind of wasted a bit. but this is the total that we get over here. Now let's see what will happen again. Your goal is to be above 300, but be above 300 to add with as little as possible, because right now this 10% chance is going to be wasted. It's okay for 10% crit damage to be wasted, but let's see what an epic crit damage talent will get us. So an epic crit damage talent will get us a 50%. So let's try and add here 50%. Why did it add it to... Okay, so we had 310. Let me do this again. Plus 50%. We're going to get a 360. Now, the amount that we're going to have on gears is going to be a 40%. So if we say our goal yet again is to find the suitable percentage stat that will allow us to subtract 2 attack rolls on the gears without falling below the max amount. So if we were to put a crit damage legendary talent, we could subtract 1 gear roll and we'll still be above the 300 cap, a little bit overlapping, but if we subtract another one, that will get us below the 300 cap. So crit damage is not going to be the way to go for Harley. Now let's go with crit chance. Again, for the sake of calculations here, I will pretend that this talent is going to be epic. So we're going to get a 15% plus 17% plus 24% plus 12% plus 6. That's going to be 74. We don't really need to calculate this because since it's not overlapping, it's the exact value. And plus 6 more because yet again we're assuming that this talent is also epic. We're just assuming that for the sake of the calculation. So in theory, if all the build would be perfect, we would have an 80% crit chance. Now what does legendary critical attack chance talent give? 25% crit chance. So if we add that, we're going to end up... Why did it add it to a 6 again? Well, let me do this again, sorry. So 74, as we said, plus 6 because we're assuming that's epic. And again, we're going to add over here the plus 25. That's going to be the talent. So this would be our total crit chance if we were to, let's say, put a crit chance legendary talent. Now the value we're going to get on a gear at level 70 is going to be 17%, and we're going to try and subtract once. All good. We could easily replace this, we could easily do this and replace one attack. And if we do it once more, 71 is not going to be the most desirable thing, though it's not going to be the worst thing in the world, but ideally you'd really want to have those maxed out. And I really don't think 2 more gear rolls, at the very least for soul raids, would be worth losing on 4% crit chance. So crit chance doesn't seem to be the way to go either. Now the only thing that's left for us is lethal attack chance, and yet again, if we're unable to subtract 2 rolls from the gears with the lethal from the lethal attack chance with the talent, then we're just going to go attack on that talent because that's the only way to go. So let's calculate this again. We're going to get a 1% plus 17 plus 51. So we have a total of 69. Nice, lethal attack chance currently. And the lethal attack chance is going to be at 25% on the legendary talent. And we're going to end up with a 94. That's quite a high amount, looks promising. So now, if we were to get that legendary talent of lethal attack chance, we would need to subtract 2 gear rolls. We subtract 1, we're still good. And we subtract a second one, and we're exactly on the max out value for lethal attack chance. So in theory, if I would want to get this build for Harley to 7 stars, or if I would have the resources to do so, then I would want to get a legendary lethal attack chance talent, because that would allow my build to subtract 2 gear rolls and change those 2 lethal attack chance gear rolls with 2 attack gear rolls, and that would be the best value for me. Again, not saying this is the best build for Harley, because if you're going to go for a lethal attack chance build, then you're going to kind of require to have lethal attack chance on the artifacts, and that's not a possibility for everybody. But this is just an example. This is not about how to build Harley, but how to make all those calculations for yourself. And if you're unable, after doing all this for the character that you want to get to 7 stars, no matter what value you add, you'll not be able to subtract 2 of these without falling below the maxed out percentage chance, or percentage damage if it's crit damage, then just put 1 legendary attack roll. And that's how you're going to do this for getting a character from 6 stars to 7 stars with the perfect build. But now let's say your build is not going to be perfect. What are you going to do in that situation? Well, let's take a look at my Confluent Sakuman. So this is his build currently. So if I was to take this Confluent Sakuman to like 7 stars, I have a few ways to go about it. Again, we're going to take a look at the stats, and the stats are not maxed out because like his gears are good at this point, and I'm not keen on changing those because those are supposed to enter on the talents once I get them to epic. But yeah, if I was to get him at this state that he is at currently to like 7 stars, then I would take a look at what exactly he is missing the most. So currently my Confluent Sakuman could use more critical attack chance, and he could use more critical attack damage. So in that scenario, I would go for either one of these. Also, if you have trouble with getting epic armor pierce, for example on a character like Harley, because she needs 4 armor pierces, you can make use of that legendary talent that you're going to get a legendary armor pierce, which is going to give you 50% armor pierce. And that might be really worthwhile, because we know armor pierce takes a lot of your credits, and this is an easy way to fine-tune your build, because the epic talents can only be rares, epic, and legendaries, so you're going to have a far easier time getting that talent, though it'll take some of these, it'll definitely take some of these, but just farm arena and you'll get them. And yeah, this is pretty much it for characters, and if you're going to build a tank, I thought I would specify this. Even though you shouldn't really take tanks as a priority to like 7 stars. Gonna give an example, Dr. Fate here, he's a garbage build, don't mind him, but yeah, if I was to, actually I did take him to 7 stars, again, you're just gonna look at the values, and if he's missing like, let's say, resistances, which my Dr. Fate was missing, I went for a resistance one. And we can try and further reroll this, and try to get a legendary resistance. If we're unable to, and this is what it is, we're going to keep the current one. Health will also do to an extent, but usually you're going to go the same way as you did with the damage dealers, trying to figure out if you put a defense in there, will it give you 2 health rolls on the gears, or if you put something else. But mostly it's going to be defense. But yeah, all that being said, this is kind of a way to get legendaries to 7 stars without changing your build too much. Hopefully you found this useful, or at the very least, hopefully you figured out the chances and the percentages for the legendary talents. But yeah, all that being said, thanks so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Goodbye!
This is the future.